Oh my goodness, welcome back to the Sonic Squeeze. This week, today, this episode, we're talking about Raury. Thanks, man.
Raury.
Like, All We Need.
All of it.
Yeah, All We Need is the name of the album.
All We Need.
Is Raury.
All of it.
Raury.
Rory's a 19...
All We Need.
Raury is a 19-year-old American musician from Atlanta. He makes hip-hop, cross, indie folk, soul, rock. It's hard to pin him down.
It is. I would define it as alternative hip-hop, but there are a lot of songs that don't have really any hip-hop elements.
Yes, but there was many songs with many hip-hop elements.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the sound that a hip-hop elephant makes?
I like it. Okay.
I started listening to Raury. Like, I chose this album for this week. This was my choice. And I listened to Raury for the first time, like, last year, maybe a couple of years ago, on Radio 1, and he was, like, shortlisted to be on, like, the sound of 2015. And I heard God's Whisper, and I really loved that track. I thought I saw something in him. I saw something special. And I thought, this guy's going somewhere. And obviously these guys thought it was going somewhere as well, because they forecasted it being one of the sounds 2015. And here we are in 2015, and here is his album, All We Need. Yeah. What do you think of this album, Gareth? Not James.
I think that there is a lot of potential in this album.
Okay.
I think a lot of his songs are well written. They're very interesting. He has a nice style. I feel like the production all over it is weak as fuck.
Really?
I feel like there's a lot of weak production on this album, and I feel like if he was given a producer just to tighten up everything he's doing, and maybe had some more singers on, because he's not bad at singing, but he's not great. I like the style he has, though.
I like his style a lot.
I think he has a nice style, even if he's not great all the time. But if he just had some production on this album...
Did you hear God's Whisper?
I think this shit would be top. If it wasn't on this album, then no, because this is all I've listened to of it.
Yeah, I was thinking you must have heard it, maybe, but you probably have heard it, you just don't know it, because it got, like, huge airplay. Never heard it?
I don't listen to the air. No.
I don't listen to the air, no.
You guys, today with your non-listening to air...
Soz.
Yeah. What do you think of the title track?
Loved it.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was really good.
I didn't expect the album to go down a hip-hop route, when it started getting all rapper-dappy, all rapper-schmack-pack, but I thought, wow, he could rap.
Yeah.
But I felt a little bit disappointed, though, because I was hoping for more of that God's Whisper that I'd heard, with absolutely no rapping, no indication he was going to do any rapping at any point in his career, and then here we are, bunch of rapping. He killed it on like a couple of songs.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of his rapping was pretty weak on others.
It wasn't the level of some of the stuff we've been talking about earlier.
I didn't feel as though it was weak at any point.
I didn't think it was weak, no.
I felt as though at some points it didn't come across as, wow, this guy's a really good rapper. But I was never like, this guy's bad at rapping.
I never wanted him to stop rapping.
Yeah, exactly. I was never like, oh yeah, he's rapping now, I'm going to listen.
And this whole album is real talk all over it. Like, all of them have like good messages, good meanings. I like it. I like them all from just a like poem standpoint.
Yeah,
I think they're all great.
Yeah, there's a lot of environmentalism,
which we go into track 2 with Revolution. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was amazing in every way.
I feel like this really was where I started to get my feel for the album, where it's really raw sounding production, which I liked a lot at the start. Then the big bass comes in, and I think it was awesome. It was a great idea to have that, and I think it would really kick it. But
Did you describe it as big bass?
Yeah.
I described it as big bass as well.
I described it as having a kind of Kanye West vibe about it.
Yes,
yeah.
I can see that. But I feel like if you listen to this on bad speakers or bad headphones, you wouldn't hear that bass.
Yeah.
At all.
I reckon
it's really low. It has no like higher frequencies in it. I think a lot of the bass in this album sounds really like there's not a lot of higher ends in it. It's very bassy and very clean, but not in like a good way. In a way where I feel like it's very much like sine waves, like simple sub stuff. I feel like if he got someone like Skrillex,
but I don't think it's necessarily bad that it's like that. I don't think that it's a turn off or that it could have been used.
I think if it was better, if it was heavier, then that moment would have been better, And I don't think it was bad. Like this song,
I don't know.
This song,
I like the
good.
fact that it was simple. I like the fact that it was. But
I think it could be simple and better. I think it could be simple and have like some of the production elements to it, where it would be louder, it would feel bigger, and on like some less good speakers, it would like you would hear it more. I feel like there was a couple moments later on in this album where a bass came in and I was like, oh yes, that's awesome, but it's just not awesome enough. If he had just had someone better doing the synthesis,
I don't know,
that would be like, yes, this song is a 9.
I enjoyed some of the synth work on this.
Yeah,
some of it was nice, but not the bass stuff. I think all the bass was
I
dull.
personally feel as though when I listen to it, and I can easily tell that they're not trying to do something over the top. They're trying to make it as stripped back as it possibly can sound. And I respect it. Like it, especially because although you can have a really stripped back sound and it not fit in any way, I felt as though everything that he included in every single one of these songs fit the song perfectly.
A lot of the time, I don't think these things are bad. I just think they're not sort of good enough to give it like the mark that I want to give it. Because from a lot of his writing, I want to be giving this album like 8s and 9s. Like, I think it's so good. But it's all being held back by production for me, which brings me back to giving it more like 7s and stuff for the good tracks. Because I just feel like I'm so disappointed with when it comes in. I'm disappointed with how hard it doesn't hit.
Okay.
But when it came in, I was like, that's a great idea. If only it was done better. And I feel like that for a lot of the tracks. Also, moving on to the next song.
Yep.
Another thing I feel for a lot of the tracks, very little high end. Just generally, a lot of these songs are produced in a way and are written in a way where there's not many elements that fill up the high frequencies, and it makes some of the tracks sound a bit dull.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that at all either.
I think if you listen back to it with that, looking out for that, I think you'll find it. A lot of the things.
I liked the inclusion of like canned laughter. It's like an effect.
Yeah, that was cute.
Just to have that in there every now and then was pretty cool.
I thought Forbidden Knowledge was one of the ones where like he could rap, and that was just like one of his best songs he rapped.
It was very spoken word as well.
However, the rap at the end is Big K.R.I.T.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was alright.
And it really, I thought it was really good.
I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was amazing.
Oh, okay.
I thought Raury did better.
Well, I really enjoyed Big K.R.I.T's verse. I thought that it added an edge which he wasn't able to get across with his rapping, and
it was definitely different.
It felt like they got the right person in to do that job.
The last thing I want to mention on that song, I agree with you. I like the sample idea-wise, but again, I think it's a thing of I don't think they were done cleanly enough. I think there was bits where some of them would snap in a bit, and some of those samples would have the high end that the rest of the track lacked, and so it would sound a bit odd when they come in, and then they cut out. I feel like just a bit of production.
I understand that, but the way that I'm thinking of it is he's experimenting with everything he's doing. So every element in here, it seems like he's really trying something new, and I agree that it definitely shows potential, and I agree that it isn't as good as it could be, but you get the idea that he's a young guy, he's got loads of great ideas, and he's developing. And I respect that he's developing. I'm not going to say that right now he is.
I just think it's crazy that he's 19.
Yeah.
And this is his second
19.
project. He already brought out a mixtape where he got like huge acclaim.
That is incredible. Actually.
I mean, that's happening so much nowadays, though, where young, especially with DAWs and modern technology to make music. Like, think Paul Robinson. He came up when he was 18,
and then he
Madian came up when he was 16.
Worlds, Paul Robinson as well.
Good album. Madian came up when he was 16. He was having radio play and stuff with some of his tracks. Like people getting up young.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Who?
Madian.
France.
Never heard of it.
Woodcrest Manor II.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked the first half of this song.
Yeah. When it got to the second half, there were no highs. The clap was really weak sounding.
Oh, I
didn't like it.
Can I say a little thing about this song?
Yeah.
Oh, well, about this song. He does some rapping at the end.
He
of
does
the
rap
song.
it out.
But I just, I know his persona. I've listened to a lot of his music. He tries to go a little bit gangster, but it's not in him. That's not him, man. like he doesn't pull it off. He hasn't got the swag, you know.
Perhaps.
But what I really loved in this song was that a piano and an organ played together at the same time, playing the same thing. It sounds absolutely beautiful.
Really and it feels as though it's kind of like if you were to go into a bar and there's just two people and they're just kind of having a little jam, like a bit of an improv, and they're like really going for that.
It was real good.
It was awesome. And there was like a little slap bass in there as well, which was wicked. And I'm just going to go back to front here. The ambient guitar at the start, which had like loads of reverb and was really heavy on that, was beautiful. It sounded great, that guitar, to start the track.
Yeah.
The next song I was really excited for.
CPU.
With the RZA.
It's got the RZA on it, man. The RZA. I was like, oh, get some Wu-Tang up in here. This could be great.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
He did.
That's what it did to
him. He didn't do fuck all.
He was so boring.
He came in like at the end for like a second.
And it was so boring.
But I'll say one thing.
What about the song? What are you saying, that the whole song was boring, or just that bit?
The RZA.
We were disappointed in our expectations of RZA.
The song itself was fine.
But I actually really enjoyed the song.
The piano was a bit dull. I thought it was missing high ends, like a lot of the things on the album. But it was played very nice. The playing wasn't dull. The sound of it was dull sonically, but the playing of it was very nice. And
then there's like some processed drums that come in.
Yeah.
And then it goes into like a really full
It gets
mix.
really full, yeah.
And there's like this ooh section going on for the chorus.
I love the distorted vocals and shit they did in that.
Yeah. And then again there was like a piano and a bass guitar that were kind of jamming out like towards the second half of it.
I don't think it was this song I heard it on. No, it was the next song I heard it on. But this song as well has a bit of it where those ooze sort of stuff sound a bit Demon Days at points.
I got a bit,
especially on the next song. You get very Demon Daisy sort of backing vocal humming, and I really liked it.
Also, just to finish off on CPU, for the second or the final chorus, he adds like this really big bass synth, and it goes really well because it's not something which is incredibly complex as a synth, but it's such a like simple sound and is really great. It's wicked. Devil's Whisper, track 6. Kind of a lot different compared to the previous songs. It was like a folk song.
Yeah, I thought the first half was sort of it was folky and interesting, and then but the second half comes in. And he tries to have this big distorted bass thing. This was I really felt was actually Worldsy, like Paul Robinson Worldsy, big distorted bass synths. But he just didn't quite pull it off synthesis-wise again. I was like, I like what you're doing there, but it's not quite.
Okay.
But I think it was a good idea. Paul Robinson vocals. I really liked him on this. And by the end, I thought he really had some Kanye coming out, like old school Kanye. On the end of this, when he was getting hyped near the end, he was old school Kanye, like in his prime. He was sounding like it, and I was like, I'm really digging this.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
My perspective on this song is that you haven't heard God's Whisper, so this is Devil's Whisper. It's just a rehashed version of God's Whisper.
Right. Okay.
Which is like obviously that's the song where he got all his success from. And I feel like he should have just avoided that.
It's interesting because I really like this track. And
I
wonder if I wouldn't have if I'd heard Devil's.
Yeah. That's why I was interested to see what your perspective would be on it. But it apparently was
I like
good.
that it was when it introduced that kind of like because it was basically a folk song for a lot of the track. Then it introduces this like really dirty synth sound, which then brings it into this like big group vocal chorus and lots going on. But still quite minimal. Like it still feels as though it's kind of a folk song, even though it's got that synth element to it. And then he starts rapping in the end, and it kind of gets more aggressive as it goes on. And I like that touch. And it just kind of ends on like a really aggressive note. And I like it. I thought it added a lot of character to that song. Yeah. I really enjoyed that song.
Shall we move on to Peace Prevail?
Peace Prevail.
What do you think of that one, Gareth?
I thought this was probably the worst song on the album. This was probably tied for the worst song on the album. I thought his rapping was awful. Go around, and for no reason. It wasn't like a Kendrick song where he uses the word all the time, but it's like, he has meaning for it. Just listening to the lyrics, there was just no meaning for it. He was just pulling shit out, and it just wasn't working. I didn't like it, and the synths on it, I was like, okay,
the production's pretty simple.
It was very simplistic, that song. It had just acoustic guitar, rapping, some slide guitar in the background,
Which
and then
he
it kind
does
of
well.
shifts into like a radio skit.
He does well on other tracks, but on this one, I don't think he did anything interesting. Like on every track, he has something about it, which is like this, but with this. But on this, I just think he did that.
Yep. Okay. Screw that song. Crystal Express.
I wasn't a massive fan.
I think this was the most poppy song on
Yes.
the track. I feel like this is
upbeat.
ready to play track.
It had a decent chorus, but nothing really happened in it.
Fucking faded out.
Yeah.
Next track.
No, next track.
No.
Next track.
What do you want to say, Crystal Express? Go.
Okay. From what I've heard from before, this song is like what I'd expect to be like a standard song on his album. Like that's what I'd hear as a progression from his last stuff to this one. Mm-hmm. But it was like, yeah, it was alright. You know, nothing
Love
special.
is not a four-letter word.
Was great.
I felt as though it was exactly like that song on the documentary that I can't remember right now, where he's kind of dissing a girl, and it was exactly that, but it also had like a good horn section.
Yeah.
He was just like saying,
This was-
oh yeah, because it started off like quite a gentle, oh yeah, like it doesn't matter if the, and then it just kind of gets like, nah, you can go to hell. And well, obviously a bit more aggressive than that.
I think James is pretty much right.
No, buddy, walk out the
I
door.
was not saying it's a
I think
great
it's decent.
song, but I thought it was interesting compared to everything else that happened. Like,
I think this style suited him better than the rapping, because this was more like a spoken word kind of thing.
yeah, I agree with
that,
that.
but I don't think it had much in it.
In it.
I don't think it had
I
much.
feel like this
it.
would go down well at like a poetry slam or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it was like
I think
it was only like 2 minutes, wasn't it?
I think the actual
Exactly.
writing in it's the worst bit of it though. Like I don't think what he was saying had anything to it. And he had some really annoying sort of springy percussion-y sounds which just didn't work at all in it.
Her,
But I didn't think it was bad.
starring that guy,
Oh, her.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Fuck's sake.
Her I really liked.
This is one of my
I
favourite
really
songs
liked
of the album.
it,
I really liked it.
It had like a beach vibe at the
It had
start.
such a good atmosphere.
The production
Yeah.
on this one, I fucking love the production.
Yeah, this was really good. Really good.
I don't have any negative things written about the production, and I do for most tracks. So
The drums were huge.
It.
The bass was heavy.
There's real
The-
tension in the whole song.
percussion and the synths just worked so well.
Mm.
And although, as you said, it kind of got really tense. It got really tense, but it started off as quite like a chill track, and it never lost that chillness.
Yeah.
It just got more tense. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah,
It never got aggressive, but it did build up into something, and yeah, it was kind of really cool, actually. Really cool. I'd listen to that one again.
I would go and listen to that one.
Yeah,
You guys out there.
that's in my top 3.
Yeah.
So-
Trap Tears, unfortunately.
You cannot look.
Is it tears or is it tears?
Trap Tears
Okay.
because he says it in the chorus.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Little
Doesn't
bitch.
count.
This is the thing, right?
Um,
when I look at this, I see the word trap in the title, and I'm
you
immediately
think it's a
assuming
trap
it's going to
song.
be awful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, you can't put the genre in the title, and it's just it always ends up being bad.
Mm.
And it was awfully produced trap. It was badly produced, boring trap. But the one thing that sort of saved it, at least he was talking about the trap in the sense that it's meant to mean. He wasn't just doing a Nicki Minaj
Bees in the trap.
Like
Bees
he
in the
actually
trap.
had like if this song was just called Trap Tears and wasn't a trap song, it would still make sense.
Yeah.
And so that saved it a bit for me where I was like, okay, there's at least a well thought through gimmick within this song. And I thought the production couldn't be better, but I thought actually what he was doing
You don't
wouldn't be bad.
usually have an acoustic guitar running through a trap song, so that added
Yeah,
something kind of
that
different
added
to
a
it.
nice
But
sort of
like
timbre to it.
so much sampling in trap you could. Like it's not something that would blow
Yeah,
my mind that you
could.
And he
but
didn't have all of the normal bits of trap
I'd say
done well.
he included trap elements, but I wouldn't necessarily say that.
That's a crime. It's trap.
Wow. Okay. I'm not even going to finish what I was saying after that.
fine, it
No,
doesn't matter.
I like
It was a
the
terrible
outro
song.
was quite cool. I liked the fact that it went into this radio thing. I felt there was this radio thing going on throughout the whole thing.
I
wasn't there?
didn't.
I didn't really get it. I didn't know who it was. Or like who was meant to be
I didn't know
talking?
what-
Who was it?
Why?
DJ Smooth or something?
I don't know why it was happening.
No.
And I didn't like
I
it.
like
Yeah.
I like the idea that he was trying it out, but it felt as though it just didn't work.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the few ideas he had, which just didn't.
Mama, track 12.
Didn't like it that
Boring.
much.
I didn't like it at all.
Oh,
Right,
I
next
really
song.
Kingdom Come.
Kingdom Come.
I actually liked this one. You know what?
I thought this was decent.
Yeah,
I said it was a sweet song
Builds pretty well.
with kind of a nice Caribbean flavour to it.
Nice horns.
Yeah. The voice and the horns. The lyrics is something I'd expect off of like a Bob Marley track or something.
bongos-
Had that kind of feeling.
The sort of bongo-y, percussion-y sound is awful and fake.
Hmm.
But especially once the rest of the song builds up, it's not
If
too
you
bad.
found
Doesn't go
out
into
that
it.
he actually used real bongos,
I
or
would be
congas,
amazed at how fucking shit he managed to make them sound. Because I mean, that sort of percussion, congas and bongos and stuff like that, they're so easy to make sound nice.
I like that it had like a big backing choir going on,
Yeah.
and it had percussion going on, it had brass sections, it had a really big outro, and the whole thing kind of built up to this huge outro. I really like it. Really cool song.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it immensely.
definitely.
Friends, the finisher.
Friends.
That's really weird. It has a totally different sound like the rest of the album.
Yeah, it's
It
really
had like
weird.
an 80s sound that you started to hear
I don't
every now and
necessarily think it was bad, but it was very much like a pop
I want to say
song.
there's one bit of
Yeah.
it that is very bad.
Okay.
Percussion was awful.
then. Oh.
I
It was
didn't
so
pick up on
boring.
it.
I
It
didn't
had
pick
the
up on
same
it.
drum beat throughout the entire song, pretty much. It was like on beat. There was nothing interesting.
All
in
I
it,
remember
and
about the
I
drums
hated
is
it
that they
being mixed.
just sounded big, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of went into some
But
pop vocals.
I think that's what made me
with-
notice it so much, because they were meant to sound big, but I don't think they sounded good, and they weren't doing anything interesting. Apart from that,
It's one of those
I
songs
quite
where
like
they
the
have
song,
like
though.
a child choir in the background,
Yeah.
just to kind of add this silliness and this innocence to it. But it made it come across a bit too kind of cheap. I don't think it was.
cheap is a good word.
I don't think it was like bad,
Mm.
but it just didn't really suit anything. It was like
yeah,
you're doing this just because you want to have like a friendly song. It
yeah,
kinda came
and I feel
across.
like it had sort of the idea. I think it would have ended another album well.
Yeah,
But I think
okay.
with this album, it was too much of a tonal shift, and it was just sort of, you're like, oh shit, I'm hearing something new. Like an ending sort of meant to like be like, there we go, that sort of
Yeah.
finished it all. Whereas this sort of was like, oh shit, something else, and then it stops, and then you're like, what the fuck was that?
And then it concludes with that whole like the radio guy going,
Yeah, which-
clap your hands. Like,
Killed
I
itself.
didn't really get it.
Did not like
Didn't
that.
really get it. So it had some really great moments. This album,
It was very well
I
written.
would,
well thought out.
yeah,
Not produced
I'd
enough.
say that All We Need. Really,
love.
I love that. I love that track. I thought Revolution
All We
was
Need,
also
yeah.
fantastic.
Revolution was fantastic.
I thought that CPU was good. I thought that RZA could have done a bit better, but I thought it was a good track overall.
Well, if I
Devil's
know
Whisper
RZA,
I
then
liked.
RZA probably helped out with the rest of the song.
Yeah,
Because that's how he works.
Best songs for me.
Oh wait, and Her. Her is the other one.
Mm.
Best songs for me. Revolution, Her, and Devil's Whisper, especially the second half.
Yeah.
Second half of that was what made it for me. But those are my picks.
Yeah, I'll probably go for All We Need, Forbidden Knowledge, and Her.
Wicked.
Yeah. Marks out of 10, gentlemen. James.
I think James.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you mind?
Sorry. I normally start.
Jesus,
Sorry.
man. Okay, so I was torn between giving this a 6 and a 7. I think I'm gonna be a bit generous because I really like the ambition. I can see a lot of potential. I'm gonna give it a
Definitely.
7. I think it could have done a lot better, but there was a lot going on that could have been really good.
Yeah.
And well, there was a lot that was going on that was really good. There was some of it that could have done better. Some elements that didn't work, but again, he's 19. He's trying out new stuff, and what he's got there is really good for a 19-year-old. Like I'm down 7 out of 10.
Again, I'm agreeing with you. Between 6 and a 7, I was. But this time, I'm gonna, for the same reason if you go with a weaker 7. I think if he'd had if he'd had a producer on this track, if he'd had someone who could do a bit of the more bigger dancey bass stuff and keep the high ends fresh and stuff, I think this would have been a strong 7 or an 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a week 7. I feel like I'm actually really looking forward to hearing the next project comes out.
That is one thing that I was gonna say before we started this,
yes.
which I didn't want to say, but I'm gonna say it now. I reckon he would be great to see live.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
But I didn't want to say that earlier because it would totally. You'd have been like, "Oh, so he likes this album." Oh, well, that. And now we know what he's going to say.
Fickle fuck.
Whoa! Okay, so yeah.
What did you guys think of Raury? We rather liked it. We found him quite endearing.
Or don't.
Yeah, we will answer the comments as well. Or he probably will.
Live your own life.
Yeah, do you. Do you, and subscribe, because that's what your heart's telling you to do right now, isn't it?
Unless it's not, then don't.
Yeah.
But please do.
Yeah. And give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Goodbye. See you again soon, where we will be talking about more music for your pleasure. And
Dickles.
What?
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, it's a John Grant reference.
Predictions. I thought you would give this album a 7.
Nice.
And I thought you would like this a bit more than us.
Yeah?
Which I think you did, but I thought you'd give it an 8.
Yeah.